Nino Brown Boxing. I'm back in the building. Shout out to the LDBC. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. So, I've been seeing so many videos about this whole Terence Crawford and Jermell Charlo having word situation. And at this point in time where boxing is at a standstill, all we can get is talk. Like, this is the most suitable time when the only expectation is for a fighter to talk because there's literally nothing else to do. We don't know when this shit is going to be over, so we all just sitting around. All right, I got that out of the way. Now, when it comes to the whole situation, basically, Jermell Charlo was presented with questions, and he gave his response, and then he basically brushed Terence Crawford off when it came to the whole Errol Spence fight as well. And Terence Crawford, being Terence Crawford, he responded. And then Charlo came back at him. You know, they've been having back and forth communications through social media, all of that good shit. Now, Terence Crawford and Jermell Charlo, in my opinion, they're very similar. They're one and the same. Both of these guys, very sensitive. They're very emotional. And they really don't come out and they don't really socialize with the fans, do interviews, shit like that. To me, they fall in the same category, but for some reason they get treated differently. But their energy is basically the same. So when it comes to this talk about them having a fight, I understand it's just talk. But shit, that's all that can go on right now, like I said at first. When it comes to the situation, I'm all for it. Shit, I say fuck it. You know, if they're going to fight, go ahead and make the fight happen. It doesn't bother me. Obviously, I'll pick the bigger Charlo to win. I mean, the bigger guy, that being Jermell Charlo, to win, because Terence Crawford's naturally smaller. Terence Crawford came from 135. Now we're talking about guys that were on an equal playing field when it comes to size. Well, we all seen how things go when Jermell Charlo gets in the ring with certain opponents. But at this point in time, that's all fantasy. Now, my whole take on this situation is, I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. I have no issue with guys at 154 want to smoke with guys at 147. My issue comes in when the consensus best guy at 147, the most popular fighter at 147, and also I believe the number one guy at welterweight is Errol Spence Jr. Strategically, that's the guy Jermell Charlo decided to join forces with when he didn't have to. This man was born with a bigger sparring partner that looks just like him. All I can say is that move with Errol Spence Jr. was strategic. We already know it was no expectation that he'll face his twin brother. Well, joining forces with Errol Spence Jr., what does that do? It eliminates another possibility of a blockbuster fight. But now he wants to talk greasy about Terence Crawford. I just found all that shit to be ironic. But you know what? Terence Crawford, if he walk him to smoke, it is what it is. Win, lose, or draw, it's all good. My thing is, if that fight was to happen in some bizarre chain of events, all I want next is for Jermell Charlo to finally move up in weight. Because it's a lot of talk when it comes to the smaller guys and going back and forth with the Tank Davises of the world. Now going back and forth with Terence Crawford. Well, what's up with them bigger guys? You know, what's up with them bigger guys? I'm talking about the guys that never campaigned at 154. I'm talking about, well, Terence Crawford came from 135. He went to 140. Now he's at 147. All right, Jermell, what about Caleb Plant? You know, what about that young boy? What's his name? Benavidez? So, I mean, it's all fun and games to put a guy that started his career off at 135 against a bigger guy. But when you basically keep the same energy and say, okay, Jermell, after you beat him, go fight somebody 2 weight classes above where you started your career, you know, everyone's going to get all quiet. People not going to really doing that much talking because, in my opinion, the boogeyman in the weight class of 160 is his twin brother, and that's not going to happen. I get it. So go up to 168. But at this point in time, it's all talk. Like I said, I feel like both of these guys, they're very similar. They act the same. They really do. Like when it comes to what happens outside of the ring and how they carry themselves, they all do the same shit. But we all know this shit is just talk. The fight is not gonna happen. I mean, Jermell Charlo, you know, he talking greasy with Terence Crawford, but I say shit, run it back with Tony Harrison. I mean, you can call it what you want it. You can say, you can feel, because at this point in time, it's only feelings. You can feel that you didn't lose that first fight to Tony Harrison, and then you came and you knocked his ass out the second time. All right, man, run it back. Have a trilogy. Run it back, you know, set the record straight. At this point in time, no matter how you want to look at it, it's even. 1 win to 1 win for both of you guys. Instead of butting into welterweight business, I say let's look forward to moving up in weight, because based off of what's going on with Jason Rosario, it seems like that shit not going to happen anytime soon. And it makes matters worse when it comes to all of these unified champions, Errol Spence included. A whole lot of mandatories will be due after this pandemic, because these sanctioning bodies, they I'm sure they hungry for their money as well. But we'll see how everything play out. We'll see if more talk decides to surface, more Twitter fingers decides to be putting in some work. But it's Nino Brown Boxing. Shout out to the LDBC, and I'm out.